Hey everyone, it's Adele and April from JSS Scrap, and we are here with Technique Tuesday. So today we wanted to go over our Seasons in Motion special, kind of going off of our Creativity in Motion, but it is Christmas holiday themed. Not really Christmas themed though, it kind of is.
Holiday themed.
It's wintry themed, but there's also some paper that's for Halloween, Thanksgiving, all that stuff. So we're about to show you the whole thing and it's awesome. We hope that you love it as much as we do and we hope that you get it. So, all right, here we go.
So as we said, we're going to be working with our Seasons in Motion today, which is a special that runs through December 31st. What you see before you right now is our bundle for our Season in Motion, and let me just go through what you get in the bundle. So you will get the animated autumn air stamp. You'll also get the animated holiday cheer stamp, the seasonal border tab stamp. You will get the holiday stack, which is a stack of 6x6 papers. You get 48 papers, 12 designs, or 12 two-sided designs for each of those. As you could see, I'm just going to go through these quickly. That's the other design, and there we go. And then have that. And these are for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Basically, and this one you could use for anything. I'm just going through these quick so you could get an idea of what comes with it. And as I said, you would get 4 of each of these, and they are two-sided, and there will be 12 different designs. So, also with the bundle, you get our animation window thin cuts. So this actually is a thin cut that will give you that animation for your stamps, just like the animation sheets do, the acrylic animation sheets. And this is also for the card that has the tab already built in. So you can buy this in a bundle. You can buy these pieces separately. You can also, as part of this special, we still have our tab thin cuts and the animation sheets that we originally were in the Creativity in Motion. So I'm going to put this stuff aside and we are going to get started. In order to create our Seasons in Motion cards with our thin cuts, you will need a die cutting machine. Today, we will be using our Close to My Heart die cutting machine. Unfortunately, this machine is only available to Close to My Heart makers. However, we have decided to offer this to our VIP customers. So if you are interested in purchasing one of these and would like more information on how to become a VIP customer, please let us know, contact us, and we will give you all that information. I am going to go over some of the features of this die cutting machine. It does have, you open it up, and if I was on a better surface, it has suction cups on the end, so it will stick to your surface. These plates here that you'll be putting the cutting boards on, they do open up, and you could store things in them. Both sides open up. So you could store things in both sides. This is the arm, and we store that in here. I also keep the direction guide in here also. When you are putting the arm on, let me close this up a little bit. This arm here attaches here, and the way it attaches it has this little grip here that you pull down, and you'll put that on, and then it locks on so it won't fall off. And then when you want to remove it to put it away, you just pull that little tab again and it comes off very easily. And it also just tells you, you know, the direction. You could go actually in either direction. This side, it has the 3D emboss, letterpress, 2D emboss, and die cuts. So you just turn this knob and it will fix the roller to where it's supposed to go. For today, we're going to be using this on our die cut. And then this is the pressure. So in order to, you can push this in and either make everything loose or push it in and go a little tighter. For our purpose today, we're going to go a little bit tight, but not all the way. And you will have to play with it with whatever you're using. This is a wonderful machine because you can adjust it to your needs, which is a really great feature. If you wanted to purchase the machine, it comes with the adapter, the 6x13 adapter, the 6x13 cutting mat, and the 6x13 platform. And we will be showing you how to use it in just a moment. So today we're going to be using our Grateful for You stamp, our heart stamp, and I have the stamp right in my hand. This is the side that will be attached to our block. And you see the lines that are in there? It's just like the Creativity in Motion stamps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up on my Versamat so that, I don't know if you could see this well, but here's the white line and it's going right through one of those lines in the stamp. So I'm going to take my block and I'm going to put it on my stamp, my block straight, the stamp on the block straight. And I'm just going to take that and pick it up. And now it's on my block and ready to be inked. Some of the other things that I'm going to be using to create this card are, I have a ballerina cardstock here, and I cut it at 4 1/4 inches, 4 1/4 inch strip. I took one of our holiday stack papers and I cut it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have my card base. I have some candy apple red ink. Of course, I have my stamp, my 3D foam tape, my close to my heart adhesive. I have a pencil and a ruler. So I'm gonna, and of course you're gonna need these thin cuts and the die cutting machine. So our next step is I am going to put the ballerina paper through our die cutting machine with both our animation thin cut and our tab thin cut. All right, so I have my die cutting machine. We're just gonna open that up. I have my cardstock, and today we're gonna be using the cutting mat and the platform. And remember, I had set my dial at the -1 for our pressure, and also it's set as for the die cut. So here we go. I'm going to place my die cut, and I'm going to just do it. I'm going to do it one at a time, only because I want our cardstock is two-tone, and I want dark on one side and light on the other for the other cut that I'm going to make. So for this thin cut, I want to have the light side showing. So I'm going to place my thin cut down on the platform with the cutting side up. I'm going to place my cardstock on top of the thin cut, and then I'm going to put my cutting mat on top of that. And now we're going to go put everything through the cutting mat. The die cutting machine. Here we go. Just want to gently take that off of your thin cut. And there you have it. So this piece is done. We are going to now do the same thing for our tab thin cut. But this time I want to cut the dark side of my cardstock. So I'm going to put my thin cut on the platform with the cutting side up. I'm going to put the dark side down towards the thin cut. And then I'm going to put my cutting mat on top of everything. Just make sure that it doesn't shift. You could always use, if you have washi tape, you can always use washi tape to make sure that your papers don't shift. And when you're using the platform on this die cutting machine, as with any die cutting machine, you should flip from one side to the other when you're cutting, just to keep the mats, give it a longer life. And so now we have our tab for our card. As I said before, I'm going to be using the Grateful for You heart stamp, and I'm also going to be using these three little accent hearts too. And we are going to be using our Candy Apple Red exclusive ink. Before I use this stamp, it's never been used, so I'm going to season it. And what that just means is when it's brand new, it's a little sticky, so you just want to get some of that stickiness off of it. So you could just rub it against your skin gently, because you don't want to irritate your skin, and get that all nice and seasoned. These have been used before, but I'm just gonna season these again. And now we are ready to stamp. Actually, what I'm gonna do before I stamp on my good pieces, I'm just gonna take a scrap piece and I'm going to ink this up just to make sure that it's seasoned well enough, and it looks great. So now I'm gonna go and put this on. This is gonna go under here. So I just want to make sure that when I stamp this, it's going to be in the middle of this, so when we attach it to this thin cut piece, we'll be able to see the heart in there. And when we stamp this, we remember these lines are what animates the card. So we want to make sure that since we put this on the block straight, we want to make sure when we put it on to our piece that we are also stamping it straight onto the piece so that the animation will show. And I'm just going to let that sit there for a second. And that looks like it came out great. And on here, I'm just going to put some hearts around here. And now we are going to put these together, everything together, to make our card. All right, so I've turned over my Versamat, and now we're ready to assemble our card. So this is our holiday stack that I'm using here. And I'm just gonna put that on the card base. And then, in order to build up for our animation, I'm gonna turn this thin cut piece over. I'm gonna get my 3D foam tape, and I'm going to get my non-stick scissors to use. And I'm going to use this as a guide because I want to make sure that it's good where I want it. We have to put, I'm going to use both. This is the 3D foam tape, not the thin 3D foam tape, but I am going to use the thin side of this. You see how this is wider? I should say wide and narrow. So the narrow one to put on top of the card. And then I'm going to use the wide one for the bottom and the side. I'm going to try to put this up fairly close to the top here. And I'm just gonna cut that. And yes, so that looks really good there. I changed my mind. I'm going to use the thin on this side too. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I have the right sizing for here. So I'm just going to take my ruler and my pencil, and now that I have this piece that I've stamped, I'm just going to place it up slightly against the tape up there, and I'm going to give it just a little bit of room so it's not too tight, and I'm going to make a pencil mark here. And then I'm just going to turn this over, and I'm going to do the same thing with the thin. So now I have my little box for my slide, and I can now attach it to my card. So that's why I needed the ruler and the pencil, so I could make that mark so I would know where to put my tape. And because this edge is here, I'm just gonna put another piece of foam tape here so that when I put it on the front of the card, it doesn't flop. It's more sturdy here. And I am gonna put it off a little bit more to the left, because when this tab goes, I don't want this tab sticking out because it won't fit into the envelope properly. So I'm gonna put this just slightly over to the left so that the tab can be pulled, but it will still not interfere with an envelope. And now we're just gonna slide this in here, and there we have it. I'm grateful for you.
And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know. And if you've noticed Mom's beautiful hair, mine I actually took down so you can't see it on this video because I don't want anybody seeing my hair before the wedding. But we had our hair trials, so we are feeling pretty. And she looks very pretty. She did her own makeup for now. But that is basically Technique Tuesday. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope that you love Seasons in Motion. That thin cut is amazing. Also, remember, our March weekend is still up there. We are basically at capacity.
Yes.
But we are looking into getting another room, so do not worry about that. And also remember, our Google form is out there for our September-October dates, so make sure you fill that out so we know exactly what dates to look for, and that way we can go to the hotel and get those dates, maybe even 2 dates. So I hope everybody is having fun, and we are so close to Christmas. It's 38 days away. My wedding's 40 days away. 38 days away. So we are super excited. We hope you guys are for the holidays as well. And yeah, that's Technique Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, you look pretty. Smile. So today we wanted to go over our Seasons in Motion. Okay. So today we wanted to go over our seasoned. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
My arm hurts. Sorry. And get you guys those dates as well.
November, October?
No, it's not.